The Buddha wishes to remind us that forgiveness, self-forgiveness, is the first and primary step to becoming more realized and more awakened to your actual role that you play in helping humanity, helping us together walk either a path of sin or a path of righteousness. And what happens is we get in the paths that we walk, and we walk these paths together, so that even a good man, even a man with a heart that is pure, even a man with a heart that hopes for the betterment of all lives, and a mind that prays for the fulfillment of a spiritual reality, of a spiritual existence. But lesser so, a mind that prays for the emotional fulfillment of all his brothers and sisters, and the material, physical fulfillment of unrelated kin. Now, this man may have the best intentions, but how he walks his path on this planet Earth in alignment with what humanity is doing together, and every day is acting in the same basic ways that separate humanity from its underlying purpose of a greater service to the world as a whole, to the great Mother Earth and all of her beings, to the realization of consciousness and our unified consciousness field. And yet we walk these paths, and we buy our gasoline, and we support the military industrial complexes, and we criticize each other, and we hold resentments, and in the end, our faith is tested by the lack of love that we have for ourselves. And this lack of love comes from the foundation of not being able to forgive. And the first one, and the only one, that you must forgive, that I must forgive, in order to begin a true process of forgiveness, a true movement that can inspire change, is forgiving of the self. But now, when you forgive yourself, you become aware, for you must become aware of all of the petty actions in which you partake in as you walk on this path in the world, assisting humanity unfold in a way that is outright dangerous, that is sinful, that is dirty in nature, that is selfish, and that is controlling, manipulating, destroying. And what happens when you can come to forgive yourself? Can you truly come to forgive yourself? Can you see deep into the depth of the true power of your soul, of your spirit, to know that you have an immense power so great that you could, in effect, choose to deny all aspects of the sinful nature of humanity? And I know it sounds pretty easy in words, and I know it sounds pretty beautiful in words, and I know in practice it is all that much more difficult. It is all that much more of a test, of a challenge, of a strain on the very will that connects you with the will of our fellow humans. And there is this godly goodness in fellowship. And there is this godly goodness in knowing your place and your role in the community, in the world, in humanity. But can that godly goodness be a veil to keep us blind from seeing the truth that we are actually walking hand in hand with sin, even the best of us? And we have to stand up and puff out our chests and respect our own power. We have to make a commitment to take a step towards our own power and change one little thing each day, or maybe each week, or maybe just each month. Change one thing that you know you can change that relates to the direction in which you push, which you allow your money to flow into, which then comes forth from what you do with your time in order to produce this money and create a value and a sum that then you release forward into a troubling reality. So changing the habits of how we spend our money, and if we even need to spend money, is the first and foremost and greatest decision we can make after realizing that we are worthy of our own forgiveness and that we can develop a self-love so powerful that the path we walk on this planet can and will be of light, no matter how many footsteps before us have carved a path into the darkness. And with that, a moment of silence is definitely needed in order to ground and anchor into your being a deeper belief of your ultimate power and thus ultimate responsibility, that you are here on this earth to make a difference, and that difference is meant to be in service to those beings with a lesser spiritual ability, a lesser conscious awareness of how to manufacture abundance, love, and joy. So pray with me right now as we let go of all ties and bonds that hold us down, that keep us in a stagnant place, that stop us from moving forward and ever becoming a growing lotus flower, transforming the muck and the confusion of this world into something that is vibrant and colorful and beautiful. And it all happens with a breath of silence. And it all happens with the first step towards the most challenging path you could ever imagine possible. Because if you have been as lazy as I have been, and as lazy as our brothers and sisters have been, it is time for not only you and me to pick up the pace. It is time for us to turn around and grab other people by the collars and drag them faster along at this pace. There's no more time for us to be self-indulgent in a reckless laziness in which we allow the greater powers at be to dumb us down into working mules in exchange for some fancy products of technology, of status, of distraction. And with this, my truth has been shared. And to share truth is to